Hi! In today's video, I'm showing you how to make two versions of this cheerful sailboat card using the Sunrise Sailing Bundle. One simple for mass card making if you like, and one stepped up for a little extra wow. I love making handmade greeting cards that are both beautiful and easy to make. I'm Shelley Godby, and for 24 years, I've been teaching you how to create hand stamped smiles through my YouTube videos, my Stamping Smiles blog, and my mailing list. So, whether you're wanting to be able to mass produce a card or add some extra touches for something special, I'm going to walk you through how to make both step by step. Here's a closer view of the Sunrise Sailing Bundle. So you have the stamp set, very pretty. This sailboat is just different. We've had them before, and I don't know that I've gotten them, but this one I just had to have. And I love how the water, we have that too. Very, very nice. And you can fill in the sail and fill in some detail in the boat. And the greetings, congratulations, you deserve the best. Happy retirement. You deserve the best. Best wishes. You're designed for great things, and ahoy! So very pretty set. And then you have the coordinating dies. So we've got the outline die to die cut the boat. But then you have these intricate dies to build a sailboat, some seagulls, clouds, and water. And then, oh, what makes this super special is the Sunrise Sailing Hybrid Embossing Folder. And so uh, you can emboss with this and die cut and emboss if you wanted to the sailboat. The die fits right on there. And you die cut and emboss all at the same time. Not doing that today, but very cool because the card I have for you today, it's a clean and simple card, and I made it and I thought, wow, there's something about this. Very quick to make, but just very pretty in its simplicity. And so whenever you see coordinating dies or a punch, look to see if there's a bundle. Because if there is a bundle, you save 10% on, well, in this case, all three. The dies and the embossing folder come together in the hybrid embossing folder. And so that 10% really starts to add up. And let me quickly show you. I have my dies stored on one of these magnet cards from Stampin' Storage. Now, this is a separate company from Stampin' Up, and they have products to keep our stamping supplies in our craft rooms very organized. And there you go, super, super strong. The magnets aren't going to fall off. And then I slide them into one of these storage pockets. And there we go. And so follow my link because and it's listed under the video as well. So you make sure you pick up the pockets and not the sleeves. We want the pockets for our embossing folders. And I even store this in here. There's enough room to keep everything together. So we're going to do some die cutting and then a little bit of stamping. Clean and simple, really quick, and quite attractive. So I've got my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, and look at this. I love how it folds up. It's such a nice small profile that I keep it stored on a shelf with behind it the mini machine because it folds up. And so what we need, because we're die cutting with the thin metal dies, I need either plate number 1 and 2 that come with it, or instead I prefer using the magnetic platform. Then I picked this up on Amazon, and there is the QR code for it and the links under the video. As I hold it up, you can see all of those circles. Those are the magnets. So I tried to get on one of the magnets. So regardless if you're using the magnetic platform, that also works with the Big Shot. So the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine and the Big Shot. I need a plate number 3. And then my cardstock. I've got some basic white cardstock. And then I'm going to build a die cut sailboat. There we go. Well, all right. So that raised edge, that's the cutting edge. Let's place that down. And so the magnets hold the dies in place, so I don't need any adhesive or anything like that. And then I have here some Granny Apple Green. And for our sailboat, put this on here. And while I'm at it, I've got some more basic white cardstock. And whenever you stamp, you absolutely want to use the Stampin' Up! Basic white cardstock because it has a smooth, tight finish for crisp, clean images. And I'll be stamping our greeting on there. Now, these dies are from the Stylish Shapes dies. So let me grab this one. And this is really cool. So not only will it give it the fishtails, we'll have that stitching all the way around. And then, you know what? Let me move this up. I can do all this at one time. And then I have some balmy blue cardstock. And again, with the Stylish Shapes dies, this second largest circle. All right, so we will die cut everything in one fell swoop. And then a plate number 3. Do you notice how I placed it on? Don't scoot it on because then everything will probably scoot. Place it on, and then we'll crank it through and just get everything die cut for our clean and simple sailboat card. And there we go. We've got the boat. We have the sail. We have our label and our circle. So next, a little bit of stamping and we'll put it together. So our die cutting is done, so let's do some stamping. And what I have here is the Blueberry Bushel Classic Stampin' Pad. I'm going to pick this up and slide that in. And the best wishes from the Sunrise Sailing Bundle. So let's go over here. And I like when I can stamp after. It's quicker for me just to die cut and then stamp, and then instead of stamping and centering it on there and all that. And with the photopolymer, the clear rubber, I can see where I'm stamping. And there we go. All right. So let's go ahead and push here, pull in that lip, and click, and know that's in place. So what I have here is some Stampin' Seal, and I need to get the sail onto my sailboat. And I thought, well, this is the easiest way to do this. There we go. Put the adhesive on the boat, and then the sail just fits right on there. How cool is that? All right. So we're going to use my favorite adhesive ever, and those are Stampin' Dimensionals. These foam adhesive dots give it some lift, create a shadow and some interest. So let's do this. All right, I think 3 for that circle will be good. Feel a little bit better about the support if I do that. And you know what? Yeah, we'll just go ahead and do it. On my original card, we'll look at and compare the difference. I didn't put the circle on with dimensionals, but let's just go for it. And we can compare. That'll be fun to see what I think. I do have a thing for dimensionals. Okay, so that is all ready. Let's go ahead and take these off. I've never had a card with too much dimension. And there's a link under the video to my blog post with all the measurements to make it easy for you to make my cards too, as well as a downloadable PDF that includes the card sketch. So if you like the layout, it's like, oh, I could use that for other cards as well. So what I have here is some basic white thick cardstock. So it has that same smooth, tight finish as the basic white, but it's thicker. And look what a nice, sturdy card base that is for setting it up. If somebody wants to display your card. And it can handle all the layers. So remember, we just used Blueberry Bushel. Well, I'm back with Blueberry Bushel and Stampin' Seal. And so for this card, an inch in each corner will be just perfect. Oh, isn't that sharp? This just looks so coastal to me with the nice bright blue and the white. Okay, I'm not pressing yet. I want to make sure I get this up high enough. All right, I can come up a little bit higher. There we go. I said, clean and simple and super easy to make. And my best wishes. Okay, that's it. I do like it pushed up a little bit. Let's do this. So I don't press until I'm happy with my placement. And I would like this up to be a little bit more. I'm gently pulling on here. There we go. Let's come up a little bit higher. Fantastic. Normally, when I was designing this, I started with the greeting. Of course, I get on camera and forget everything. That's looking pretty good. Let's come up just a little bit higher so it's not setting quite on. A little bit of blue in between. There we go. And we've got our clean and simple card. So here it is popped up, and there it is flat. So from the side, you can see it creates a bit of a shadow. These both popped up is a must. I'm not so sure that this has to be. So that'll be your choice. But isn't that a cheerful card? And just, I said it looks coastal to me, nice and crisp and clean. So now for the stepped up version, this time I'm going to use the hybrid sunrise sailing embossing folder and a little bit more die cutting. So I'm still set up for die cutting with thin metal dies. What I have here is some Daffodil Delight and the smaller sail. There we go. And some more basic white cardstock. And did you notice the cloud dies? We'll be able to use this for more than just our sailboat cards. There we go. And I already went ahead and did the small boat. So on that piece, when you get the measurements, there's room for both of the sailboats on the basic white. And then I need plate number 3 again. So this is for the stepped up version. Okay. And it'll include all the elements from the first card. So here's our additional element and our clouds. They are so nice. All right, and so this is what I like about the magnetic cards. I just get my dies right back on there, and so I don't lose anything. Some of these are that little sailboat. That's small, and if I lost it, that would break my heart. Okay, so we've got that. We are done with those dies. I can set that aside. And now I need plate number 1 that comes with the purchase of a Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. And I've got the blueberry bushel cardstock and the hybrid embossing folder. So let's set our cardstock down here. I want to catch a lot of the waves. And that is looking pretty good. All right, so when I close it, I can really see. Now, it's recommended that you put it through hinge first. Easy way to remember that is the Stampin' Up! Logo facing you. So I kept that pinched together. So I've got plate number 1, no cutting plate. It's okay, we're not cutting. And even if I did put the die in here, the die will protect it. So, you never die cut right on your cutting plate, but we're embossing. And because it's a 3D embossing folder, I need the specialty plate. So this is plate number 4 that comes with the purchase of this, but you can purchase it separately if you have, for example, a Big Shot, same size plates. So let's go ahead and crank this through. There we go. And it's just always such a thrill to look at what has been embossed. Wow, isn't that something? So now we'll put it together. So we have all of our die cut elements and our embossing, and back with some basic white thick cardstock. And so this time, instead of the Stampin' Seal, we want a stronger hold because of the embossing. It's not nice and flat. So the mini glue dots, really good option for that. All right, so you try not to touch them because that takes away from their extreme stickiness. So let's go ahead. There we go. And because it's such a deep embossing, going to put one in the center of both sides. Whoops. As I touch one, here I tell you not to, and I try not to. All right, let's get rid of some the tail here. Here we go. And so that just gets down in there. It's a good adhesive to have on hand when you need something that's stronger. Okay, there we go. So we'll center this on here. Very, very nice. So sharp, but boy, doesn't that embossing add a lot. So this time, let's not put the adhesive on until I get my placement. So I went ahead and attached the sailboat to that. So this time, I'm going to use mini Stampin' Dimensionals because it's smaller. Okay, there we go. It's either that or cut down the bigger ones. And if there is a tool, I just prefer to use it. Fantastic. So let's take that. Oh, let's start with this. Yep. A memory about as long as a goldfish. Yeah, let's start with that for our placement. So I do want some of the blue showing. Fantastic. And then I have the adhesive off, but I won't press down. Let's just place. And so we're adding a second sailboat, embossing, and some clouds. Oh, that's looking good. Okay, so I'm happy. So let's press and take the backing off. If you want this to lay flat on here instead of dimensionals, I would use the mini glue dots. And I did, and I'll show you on my other card that I did. Here we go. And we do need the mini glue dots again for our clouds. And okay, let's bring that back. It's fun playing around with the clouds. Do you stack them? Do you scatter them? Okay. And I love that we can have die cut ones because then they can be white instead of, we tend to stamp them in blue. And we'll come down here, tuck it under. It's a little bit easier to tuck it under with the dimensionals, I do have to say. There we go. And then for our finishing touch, I have, let's remind me, the Opal Rounds assortment. And I thought, ooh, these look like sun glimmering on them. And so one up over here. My Take Your Pick tool does come in handy. And let's grab a small one. I don't know if you notice, I press down on the embellishment so the adhesive sticks to the embellishment and not the acetate sheet. And one over here. You know what? Did I press yet? I'd like this to be up a little bit higher, not quite parallel with the other one. There we go. And the Opal Rounds assortment. And there we go. Our stepped up version for a little extra wow. So here is our simple and then our stepped up, which is still pretty simple. So here it is with the dimensionals behind it, and this one with just the mini glue dots nice and flat. I do like it raised up. So now you've seen both. And there you go. With the Sunrise Sailing Bundle. Now, I do have to tell you, this is an online exclusive, and the availability of how long these will be around are not defined with the online exclusives. I'm just guessing because it is a more of a summery one. Well, for us, here in Michigan, we don't tend to sail much in the winter. I don't know. I'm just wondering how long it'll be around. Oh, and it includes, of course, the embossing folder. So you won't find this pictured in the catalog. This is an online exclusive, so that's where you'll go and find it. Or, you know what? I've got everything listed right under the video. You can just you click on my links, and you can order it in my online store, www.shopwithshelly.com. If you'd like to make either or both of my sunrise sailing cards, all the supplies are listed below the video and available to order now in my online store, www.shopwithshelly.com. And when you place your June 2025 Stampin' Up! Order of $50 or more with me, I'm going to send you one of my sunrise sailing cards. Bump that order up to 150 or more, I'm going to send you one of the stepped up versions. So get on over now to my online store, www.shopwithshelly.com. I'm Shelley Godby, teaching you how to create hand stamped smiles. Thanks for watching, and God bless.